I was fortunate enough when I was a starving artist in Nashville. I moved back. I had long blonde hair, didn't have a car, got repoed. I had a bike. I lived on Music Row. My girlfriend was a stripper. I worked in a restaurant, and interned at studios. That's a typical musician, right? 20s. Um, when I moved back to Atlanta, I cut my hair off. I was a vegetarian at the time. I cut my hair off and ate a McDonald's cheeseburger. I mean, when I was in Nashville, I had people that would offer me $100 bills to eat this little bite of chicken, and I absolutely would not do it. I was so you know, I say I'm going to do it, I do it. I say I'm not going
Straight
to do it.
edge.
Straight edge, man. Don't fuck around.
Yeah.
Um, I went to work at a call center because I was just starving. I was making phone calls in a little cubicle, but I think it's just my energy and my built into my system, instilled by my dad. That whatever you put your hands to do it well. I think the Bible says it too. May whatever you put your hands to do it to the best of your ability, and that's how it should be. With anything, whatever you got to do, don't do it half-ass, guys. Don't, and at the same time, don't do nothing because you're not willing to do it well.
Yeah.
That's hard too. But if you're doing something, do it right.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna come back to bite you in the butt if you don't do it right, or if you do it half-ass every single time. So, um, I was working at a call center, so pretty soon they realized he's selling all kinds of shit. Hey, you want to be a supervisor? I said, sure. Okay, great. Your shift is 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like, yeah, and I was on the East Coast. He says, yeah, we call Alaska. They're 6 hours behind us, and we can call up to 9 p.m. So 2 a.m. here is 9 p.m. in the East is 2 a.m. there. So I'm working until 2 a.m. Um, one day I get a call from the bosses. They said, hey, we got this political client that makes phone calls for politicians, and they've hired our call center to make calls for this candidate. Nobody wants to deal with him, Jeff. Will you deal with it? I said, sure. And so I was dealing with this political client. We're making, get out the vote calls or voter ID, which is, do you like this? Do you like this? Yes, no, undecided. Way before texting and cell phones, by the way. And that was 1992. I met the client. Then 1994, the next election cycle, Jeff, you handle it. So we're doing everything by fax machine, send the script over. And I was doing all the setup and managing all that. And I was good. And I had to deal with the data, and I was good because I learned these things. My dad opened the first computer store called Computer Stores of Carolina in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was the second microcomputer store in the country, 1976. And this is before the Mac and all that. It was, anyway, I digress. So I was good at all these things. And in 1996, I led the charge on that, and we had a ton of business. And in 1998, I led the charge. In 2000, the election, when I think it was Bush versus Gore. At that point, we had, I think it was 20 call centers. When I joined the company, we had
Yeah.
the one call center. When I left, I think we had 2,500 agents over multiple call centers all over McAllen, Texas, Youngstown, Ohio, Pueblo, Colorado. And in 2000, I was VP of operations for political. And so I had a whole team of people working for me, and I had helped develop some software called COS, campaignOS.com. And back in and that for that election cycle, 2000, and was working for a guy and I was married, of course. I had my son was born in 96, my daughter in 2000. So I had the family to support and a wife that needed purses and Porsches. And so since I was good at sales and all this stuff, I was making pretty decent money in 2000. And but 2002 election, I decided I'm going to do my own thing. So I called up my three clients that I had, and I said, hey, I'm going to form my own company. I am going to partner with a different call center firm, and I'm going to still manage yourself personally through my COS system. And will you come with me? So I had three clients say, yes, Jeff, we'll come with you. And I had one call center say, yes, Jeff, we'll make the phone calls on credit for you because we've known you for 10 years. And so for the first 10 years, 2002 to 2012, it was just Jeff and the clients. And so I would still have to work through the night during election. Everything was much slower.
Yeah.
I didn't have my first employee. So I started my company, and I did pretty well. I didn't have my first employee until 2012. She's wonderful, Casey Bentley, and she's awesome. She's still with me. So she joined. She actually joined the company in 2010, I think, um, to be the office manager at the recording studio, Charleston Sound. But it kind of morphed into her helping me with political, and now she's vice president of operations for the company. I'm real proud of her. She was 21 when she started with me.
Wow.
Now she's kicking ass. I mean, she basically runs the day-to-day operations for the whole company. And well, basically, yes. So I was fortunate enough to make a decent living, get the purses and the Porsches for the, should I have said that? Should I?
It's cool.
First, this very much superficial stuff that I would say, because you always have to be, like the Joneses, the competition,
Yeah.
trying to outdo the next person or look better. And Facebook and social has really distorted that, because Facebook is basically fake book,
Yeah.
like face your problems, don't Facebook your problems, that kind of shit. But I was fortunate enough to make a decent living. So I'm in Turks and Caicos, because after the 2018 election, again, my company is now 16 years old. I opened it in 2002. Finally made a decent. I mean, we made okay money, but we were middle class. Had a middle
Hmm.
class in the U.S. 180. I think our first home was 160,000. Our next home was 260. I wasn't a millionaire by any stretch. But 2000, it's kind of a game changer because um, my system, the COS system, we integrated texting with it, and texting was just taking off then. And it still commanded a pretty high price back then, 10 or 12 cents a text. Now it's a commodity and everybody hates it. But
Yeah.
back then it was, wow, this is cool. And we exploded because of that. And it also drove the live phone call business. So we did really well that year. And I was able to make enough money to put it down. We've always come to Turks and Caicos our entire marriage, because, well, my call center partner was also a travel agent. And she said, you got to go to Turks. I said, where is that? Turkey? I said, no, no, no. It's in the Caribbean. I said, okay. You get here, and it's not just the most beautiful beaches, not just the most beautiful beaches in the world, but it also has infrastructure like kind of like felt like back home. There's a grocery store. There's
Yeah.
that has stuff. They've got Lay's potato chips and whatever. I didn't eat potato chips then. Well, actually, I did when I first started coming here. I stopped eating potato chips when I was 44, and then I recently started eating them again sometimes. But I digress. But we're creatures of habit. At least I am, and it felt good here. But the best thing about TCI is the people,
Yeah.
especially the people that are born here. They just have more of a cordial, old school English. Say it's a British Commonwealth country.
Yeah.
Um, you're passing somebody on the street, which it's not like a city, but wherever you're at, hey, good morning to you. Are you doing well? Yes, doing very well. Thank you for asking. It's like if you're walking down the street in America and somebody passes you, they don't even want to make eye contact with you, let
Yeah.
alone something nice to you, because this guy's weird. Why do that? Oh my God, don't speak to me. He, she, it, her, mine, blah, blah, blah. It's all political. And it's just different here. And it's really refreshing and it's warm and the people are just